You need to know this right now. I never planned to say this today. I thought I had more time. I thought I could wait until the perfect moment. I thought I could hold this inside a little longer. But I was wrong. Because if I've learned anything, it's that time doesn't wait for anyone. And right now, there's something you need to know. Something I can't keep inside any longer. I can't pretend anymore. I've spent too much time avoiding this, too much time second-guessing myself, too much time wondering if saying it would change everything. But the truth, not saying it is worse. Not saying it is like carrying a weight that gets heavier every day. Not saying it is like standing on the edge of something real but being too afraid to jump. And I can't live like that anymore. So here it is. I need you. This isn't just a feeling. It's the truth. This isn't just something passing through my mind. This isn't just an impulse, or a phase, or something I'll forget about tomorrow. This is real. And I don't just mean in the way people throw words around carelessly. I mean it in the way that keeps me up at night, thinking about you. I mean it in the way that turns my world upside down whenever I see you. I mean it in the way that makes every moment without you feel like wasted time. And you need to know that. You need to know that no matter what happens next, I won't take this back. So now it's your turn. I've said it. I've finally said the words that have been burning inside me for too long. And now I need to know something from you. I need to know if you feel it too. I need to know if this has been keeping you awake the same way it has for me. I need to know if I've been standing at the edge of something we were both too afraid to jump into. So tell me the truth, because no matter what it is, I can handle it. But I can't handle not knowing, not anymore. The message was sent. No more hesitation, no more holding back, no more pretending that this didn't matter. Now, all I could do was wait, and that was the hardest part. The silence was louder than any answer. Seconds passed, then minutes. She had read it. I could see that much, but she hadn't replied. My stomach twisted. Had I said too much? Had I scared her away? Had I just ruined everything? I exhaled sharply, running a hand down my face. I wasn't someone who regretted things easily. But right now, I didn't know if I had just made the biggest mistake of my life. Then, finally, her reply came. My phone vibrated. One message. I stared at it for a moment, my hands tense. Then, slowly, I opened it. I don't know what to say. I swallowed hard. That wasn't rejection, but it wasn't an answer either. So I typed back. Say whatever is real. That's all I want. Send. And then, just like before, I waited. The truth she had been hiding, the typing bubbles appeared, then stopped, then started again. I could almost feel her hesitation, like she was standing at the same edge I had just leapt from. And then, finally, her message came through. I feel the same, but I'm scared. My heart clenched. She felt the same, but she was afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of us. Afraid of what this meant. I inhaled deeply before responding. Then let me show you there's nothing to be afraid of. Her reply came faster this time. How? And I knew right then, this wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. Her message sat there on my screen, pulling me in. How? A single word. But behind it, I could feel everything she wasn't saying. She was waiting. Waiting for me to prove that my words weren't just words. Waiting for me to show her that this wasn't just another passing moment. Waiting for me to give her a reason not to be afraid. So I typed, by not running, by standing here right now, with you, by proving that this isn't something temporary, it's real. I hit send. Then I waited again. The longest pause of my life. She had read it. I knew she had, but she wasn't replying. Seconds passed, then a full minute, then another. My fingers twitched. I wanted to say more, to explain, to fill the silence. But this was her moment now. I had said what I needed to say, and now it was up to her. Her answer came in a way I didn't expect. My phone vibrated. A message. But this time, not just words. A location. I stared at it, my heart hammering. She hadn't said anything. No explanation, no response, just a location. And it was close. There was only one thing left to do. I grabbed my keys without thinking, because if she was telling me where she was, if she was waiting for me, if she was letting me come to her, then that meant something. That meant she wasn't running anymore. That meant she was ready. So I got into my car, my heart pounding harder with every second, and drove. Because tonight, everything was about to change. The road blurred past me as I drove, my grip tight on the steering wheel. Her location was close, just a few minutes away, but it felt like miles. Because with every second that passed, my mind raced. Was she really ready to face this? Was I? What would I even say when I saw her? There was no script for moments like this. No perfect words. No guarantees. No way to know what would happen next. But one thing was clear. This moment was real. And now, there was no turning back. Arriving at the location, I pulled up to the spot. A quiet street, dimly lit. And then I saw her. She was sitting on the hood of her car, arms crossed, staring at the ground like she was deep in thought. I killed the engine, stepped out, and took a deep breath. Every step toward her felt heavier than the last. When I finally reached her, I stopped. She didn't look up immediately. She just let out a slow breath and whispered, "You actually came." I swallowed hard. Of course I did. She finally lifted her gaze, meeting my eyes. And for the first time, I saw it clearly. The fear, the uncertainty, but also the hope. Breaking the silence, I wanted to touch her, to take her hands in mine, to erase whatever doubts were still running through her mind. But I waited, because this time she had to be the one to close the distance. So I simply asked, "Tell me what you're thinking." She let out a quiet laugh, shaking her head. "I don't even know where to start." "Start anywhere," I said softly. She took a deep breath, then looked at me. Really looked at me. And finally she spoke the words I didn't expect. The confession that changed everything. "I was afraid you wouldn't come, but I was more afraid that you would." I blinked, processing what she had just said. "Why?" She hesitated, then said, "Because now this is real, and real things can be lost." Her voice was barely above a whisper, but it hit me like a storm, because I understood. I had spent so long fearing the same thing, losing her, losing us, losing something, before it even had a chance to begin. So I did the only thing I could. I stepped closer, closing the final space between us, and said, "Then let's not lose it." And as she looked at me, eyes filled with uncertainty, but also something deeper, I knew this wasn't the end, this was the beginning. She stared at me, her lips slightly parted, her breath uneven. My words hung between us. "Then let's not lose it." I could see the war in her eyes. Fear, hope, uncertainty. But she didn't move away. She didn't shut down. She just stood there, silent, searching my face, like she was trying to decide if she could really trust me. Her next words made my heart stop. "And what if we lose it, anyway?" Her voice was barely above a whisper, but I felt the weight behind it. She wasn't just asking about us, she was asking about everything. The risk of opening up, the fear of falling, and not being caught. The possibility that love, real love, could break her in ways she wouldn't recover from. I inhaled deeply, my chest tightening, and then without hesitation I gave her the only answer I could. then we fight for it. No more running, no more doubts. She blinked, her lips pressing together, her hands gripping the edge of her sleeves. She wanted to believe me. I could see it, but something was still holding her back. So I took a step closer, not forcing, not pushing, just letting her feel that I was right here. Listen to me, I said softly. I don't care how hard this gets. I don't care what people say. I don't care how scared we are. I just know that losing you, that's the only thing I'm not willing to risk. Her breath hitched. For a moment she didn't move. Then she broke. Not in a way that meant she was giving up, but in a way that meant she was letting go. Letting go of the fear. Letting go of the doubts. Letting go of the walls she had spent so long building around her heart. And then she whispered the words that changed everything. Then don't let go of me. The moment that changed everything, I didn't hesitate. I reached for her, pulling her against me, holding her like she was something I had waited my whole life to find. Because maybe she was. She let out a shaky breath, gripping my shirt tightly, as if she was terrified that if she let go, everything would disappear. But I wasn't going anywhere. Not now, not ever. So I whispered against her hair. Never. And as we stood there in the quiet of the night, everything finally made sense. This wasn't just about words. This was real. And from this moment forward, we weren't looking back.